You have actually been able to validate your music brand scans. So let us look back to autumn 2014. I was in the middle of figuring out my thesis topic when our professor announced that a music company was looking for students to validate their music methodology, which was you guys. And me coming from a background in the event industry and finding out that an in-store marketing book of 300 pages only had 2 pages talking about the power of in-store music, I instantly jumped at an opportunity and called you right away. And I remember you were a little bit skeptical, as you said, you had many students that had promised to deliver but had not. And here I am, a super excited and super motivated student that wants to create a music research that the entire world will read. And voila, today we have together developed several groundbreaking in-store music reports that thousands of markets have read around the world. So dreams do come true. Now I'm interested to know, what are your thoughts and memories looking back on my first phone call and our music research journey together?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's I always love enthusiasm. That's I mean, it's impossible to not talk to you and not be blown away by your enthusiasm. But yeah, like you said, I've had several students that yeah, sometimes they just disappear in the process, started working, and so I mean, yeah, I guess that's my nature, being a bit skeptic. but of course, I was also super excited to really see, because especially in the music business and also in the marketing business, unfortunately, there is always a too large portion of gut feeling, and you do what you think is right, but to be able to actually validate something in an academic study, I mean, it adds so much more value. And just as you love it, I also love doing this, because that gives you so much more confidence speaking about something if you know that it's been proven in a study. So yeah, what's I mean, it's quite soon I realized that this was not going to be something that was forgotten or students disappearing, because you and your partner were so really enthusiastic and delivered all the time. So that was super fun experience.
Well, then let us dig into the Gant music study that we did. And Gant was one of your clients, and we worked with one of their stores in Stockholm, in Sweden. And during 3 Saturdays, we collected sales data, customer satisfaction surveys, and clocked how long the customers had spent in the store. Now I'm interested to know, from your lens, can you present for us, how did you develop the music manipulation in the Gant study with your brand music methodology? And also, what are your analyses around our findings looking at the music that you developed?
So just give you some ideas of what it actually looks like in Gant stores. A couple of slides here that you can see that's very elegant, and they use colors and a lot of organic materials like wood and a lot of flowers. Also, here's another slide that shows the kind of warm and cozy environment, but still very elegant and human. So just like in all cases, we sit down with the client marketing department and go through the brand personality, and that's what we did with Gant as well, and identified that Gant is a very elegant, modern, easygoing, expressive, and human brand. That's what kind of defined their brand personality. So of course, then that's what we're going to use when we choose music for their in-store environments. So to summarize, then, that modern music is you know, the sounds of today, contemporary music compared to traditional music. So in Gant's case, then we don't want to play like oldies music, your parents' music, because if a customer comes into a Gant store and they hear that, they're not going to perceive Gant as very modern. Easygoing music is, of course, positive and happy music compared to very serious and mellow, moody music that we should not play in Gant stores. Elegant to really, fit this elegant environment that they have in the stores. It comes down to the productions a lot. It should be airy and light and shimmering compared to more heavy sounds, robust sounds like you can find in rock and distorted guitars or heavy synthesizers in electronic music. And then expressive is music that stands out, that has a story to tell compared to this vanilla music that's more in the realms of in background music that you typically hear in elevators, at least historically. And then finally, the music should have this warm and an inclusive feel that adds this human touch to it, compared to more technological music with electronic and very static sounds. So that's we then created two playlists that we wanted to try in your study. Then one that was brand fit, that was modern, easygoing, elegant, expressive, human, and then one playlist that had songs that were more traditional, serious, rugged, discreet, and technological. And
then we had no music, so it was three of them.
Exactly. And then I don't know. Do you want to go through the results or?
Yes, I can do that. So what we did with the methodology is that we use a Latin square, and a Latin square means that you randomly take these different music playlists, and then you just like randomly switch them around during the day. And then what we got out from the results was then when we analyzed it is that, do you want to go to the next slide? Yeah, so the difference in these two playlists was that when we played the brand fit music that Magnus had brought out, the sales increased by 31.7%. And I would probably myself say that Gant is a very great case. Gant is a brand that is really almost like Ralph Lauren. They worked with branding in a way that they created a very strong brand personality, that when I was in store, I could actually see that when people coming in, they're very proud. They buy that sweater or pants or jacket because they want to become that personality. And then also what we could see was that we asked the customers when they had been in the store, we asked them to please stay for a few minutes and answer like a store satisfaction survey, because what you don't want to do is you don't want to ask them directly about the music. And the results from that, we could see that it had a positive effect on the customer satisfaction when it was brand fit music. We could also see, because the same way that Magnus took out those music brand scans adjectives, we actually asked the customers to rate it, how they felt the brand was perceived as. And it showed that with the brand fit music, then it was closer to the brand identity. What we also did was that we clocked the customers from when they came in and until they left in all the manipulations, and we could even here see that the customers stayed longer when the brand fit music was playing. What are your analyses from your side, Magnus, of these results?
Well, I mean, it's very plays very well with other studies that has been made in this field, because I mean, all these results are expected when you play music that fits the brand, and there are various psychological effects that come into play here that creates this result. I mean, one aspect has to do with the congruence theories, that people usually like congruence, when things make sense and sit together, compared to when there's some kind of disconnect in an experience. And I mean, if the music tells one story and the whole rest of the environment tells another story, like the furniture or the clothing or the personnel or the even the colors in the store, if they don't match, it creates a disconnect that tends to create negative attitudes. And also, if you like to be in an environment, it subconsciously makes you stay there longer. So I mean, this has been shown in other studies as well, and so it was super good to see, or it was not super good, but it was very very satisfactory to see this also in your study, because it kind of proved that then we had a model that actually could translate a brand into music and bridge that gap between the music curators and the marketing departments. Yeah, the result was expected, but of course you never know. It's always very nervous period when you wait for the results to come in, because it's not always that you're right, but in this case we were, and yeah, it's a great story.
Yeah, I had so much fun, and I would also say that it's also important when you do these research, which I've learned, is to try to look from different dimensions, right? We did get the sales, wow, yippee, but it's also important that that is not enough. So that's why we also clock them, ask questions, and looked at different things happening, because then you can get it more confirmed.